Why do people say Donald J. Trump is the best president and food and gas prices will go back down? Why do they say that? Because they have been hypnotized into this idea. When people were asked if the economy is better now than it was 4 years ago, most people said no. But if you look at the numbers, actually, by the numbers, you might not feel it yourself.
Something was going on 4 years ago.
Yeah. And
something weird.
A global pandemic caused global inflation that had nothing to do. And even more so, the fact that our country bounced back faster than any other country in regards to inflation doesn't matter to most voters because they're just going to see Biden was in office when all of this was happening, and then it's his fault. And am I really better off than I was 4 years ago? Well, I mean, how do you parse that out? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. There's a lot of reason people build resentment. The media can be to blame, attitudes, propaganda, failure of a counter message from the Democrats, lots of reasons. But I will tell you, what is unfortunate is that most voters did not get to be high information voters and to be very literate on what exactly is about to happen. And they're going to find out. They're going to find out when the Veterans Affairs gets gutted by Trump and Project 2025. The educational system is going to be totally revamped. We're going to lose over 100,000 teachers in our public school system. Yeah, all Project 2025. And the response is going to be something along the lines of, well, why don't you just homeschool your kids? Well, I would, but I got to pay 12.5% of my paycheck for my student loans.
But they're going to give you a voucher, Jeff.
Oh,
don't you know?
A voucher.
A voucher.
A voucher. You can use it to wipe your kids' asses. So this brings me up to something that I wanted to talk about. This wasn't directly from Ground News, but it is something that I think I wanted to bring up here. Project 2025 takes dead aim at veterans' health and disability benefits. Now, again, as a caveat, and we're only going to check a little bit of this, but I want this to be a public awareness message for people, specifically towards people who are veterans or family members of veterans. Project 2025 is not set in stone yet, but 140 people involved in Project 2025 have also worked under Donald J. Trump. He just got one of their co-authors earmarked for a position in his federal government. This is not pretendy time, okay? This is real stuff. Real stuff. Whether it's as bad as that massive tome they put out there is or not, just 10% or 12.5%, it would be disastrous, and this is a good example. With a lot of this is an op-ed, so there's a lot of language in here that just isn't necessary for what we want to talk about. Story continues. Load it, please. Thank you. Let's see. Where did it go? All right, here we go. Trump has tried to distance himself from the proposals in Project 2025, claiming not to know about their development and that he disagreed with parts of the plan. The denial never passed a smell test, as 140 of Project 2025's contributors previously worked for him, including the authors and its veterans' recommendations. At a Heritage Foundation conference in 2022, as it was in preparation, Trump expressed support, stating, "They're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do." Come November, freedom-loving voters will remember it was Donald Trump and his party minions who pushed a plan to cut health care for millions of patriotic veterans, while supporting continued massive tax cuts to the rich and giant corporations. That is something that he did. In fact, not only did Trump cut benefits for veterans when he was in office before, Biden restored benefits for veterans, and Kamala wanted to broaden them even more. Project 2025 envisions significant reductions to veterans' health care services and disability benefits. Proposed changes could disenroll millions of veterans without a service-connected designation from a VA-paid health care. Other veterans could lose access to VA health care for issues that don't align with their service-related conditions. Take a look at their desired policies laid out in the Heritage Foundation's related blueprint. It's there in black and white. Before I continue, I know veterans that voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Because they believed that this was going to be better for them.
And that's the thing, is that some of them have such a disconnect where they're like, oh, well, my veteran benefits were actually better under Trump. Were they?
Were they? Or did you manage to get your application passed during the time he was in office, and that for you counts? Maybe that's what you're talking about, but that doesn't change the reality of it. And for as many disabled veterans that I'm friends with, and I'm friends with, I think, 6 disabled veterans, half of which are combat vets, it is notoriously hard for them to be able to get coverage. I know a man whose knees are dissolving, probably because he was exposed to chemical gas attacks in Iraq, all right?
Right.
This guy has a clear case, needs 100% disability. Years. Takes him years. And I'm sorry, poison gas attacks are not currently covered now under our VA plan because of revised Project 2025. Who knows? Who knows? I'm of the mind, and call me crazy, maybe I'm anti-American for this, but if a veteran has gone to war for us and needs something, I think we should give it to him.
I think we should too.
Yeah.
And I think it seems like we've got an administration coming in with Project 2025 who I wouldn't put it past Project 2025 to just completely gut veterans benefits altogether.
And Trump already tried to do it when he was in office before. He did do it. He already did gut some benefits before. And, of course, they're going to try and do it again. It continues. Project 2025's plan would also require VA hospitals to increase the number of patients seen each day to equal the numbers seen by DoD medical facilities. So get them in, get them out as quick as possible. Because we all love when the doctor won't really pay attention to specifically what we need, just write you the prescription and get you out the door. That directive ignores the enormous differences in needs between generally healthy younger service members and older veterans and risks compromising the quality of care for veterans. Project 2025 also calls for VA hospitals to outsource more care into costly private facilities. That will privatize the health care for our disabled veterans. That's good. A fiscally reckless move that continues a Trump-backed trend promoted by the Mission Act as balloon costs for the VA. And so my wife does a lot of work specifically with the legal side of the VA. And this has been a constant headache, an absolute constant headache. It also endorses a revival of scuttled Trump-era commission largely aimed at downsizing, even closing VA hospitals. Let's just close them, save some money. The ultimate endgame of these plans to dismantle the VA's clinical care mission should send shivers down the spines of American veterans and those who want them to have the best care out there. But it gets even worse.
How does it get worse?
Project 2025 is hell-bent on cutting veterans' hard-earned disability benefits. The agenda calls for cutting costs by revising disability rating awards for future claims and partially revising some existing claims. Let's call this what it is, a proposal to slash care and benefits for disabled veterans in part or in whole. What's crazy is the list that they're crafting for this is to basically remove a massive amount, and I mean a substantial percentage of veterans with pre-existing conditions or just conditions in general that need to be addressed related to their health, whether it was due to the service or not, and cut those by such a significant margin that then, well, they might still need that health care, but it's no longer the VA or the government's problem. It's just their problem.
Right. We'll just give them a voucher.
We're going to give them a voucher. Free slushies on Tuesday.
Yep. So here's a voucher for one free medical procedure at the hospital. There you go. Get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely.
Like that seems to be like what the Republicans' idea is.
Now I hate to harp on this, but as a final word on this that I really want to point out is that if you are a former service member, a veteran, or if you are the family member of a veteran, and this is an issue that is important to you, I feel like it behooved you to maybe understand what was at stake with the circumstances surrounding all of this. And if what I'm telling you right now may alarm you and make you upset, I very much encourage you to make that very loud and start getting aggressive about it, because this is the stated goal. This is what they want to do and what there are no more roadblocks to stop them from doing.
We have 2 months before this new administration is inaugurated.
It's coming.
Like, you need to do everything that you can to make sure that the people who represent you understand how you're felt.
Yeah, absolutely. Call your congressman. Get involved.
Senator, do whatever. Like, run for public office. Run for school board. Do whatever you can to get involved.
And if you voted for Trump and you're just now finding out about this and you're upset, you should be upset. And I hope it makes you want to do something even more. Get involved, please.
Yep.